The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. And if you don't know anything else on this day, know that you deserve to be blessed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. It's a Monday. And if you don't know anything else on this Monday, know that you deserve to be blessed. Hey, everyone. I am Titan Capri of the Titan Capri Experience. And I just want to welcome you all in on this Monday. And, you know, check in with you all. Check in with you all. Tonight, our topic is going to be Black, Gay, and Positive. Black, gay, and positive. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, I know you all know about these things and all of that good stuff, but we're going to get into it in just a minute. But I want to give you that preface, just black, gay, and positive. I want you to think about it, figure out what you think may be or may not be, and then we're going to go forward with that. Okay. It's Monday. I hope that your weekend was a great one. I hope that everything was like they used to say back in the day, copacetic, right? And so I want to welcome you to the Titan Capri Experience. It's been a wonderful journey getting to this point, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So I want to welcome you too, and then I want you to go out there and search, like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I am Titan Capri of the Titan Capri Experience, and I am on all social media platforms as Titan Capri, right? And so I want you to go out there and check it out and do all that good stuff. So tonight, we're talking about black, gay, and positive. And I want to know, did you know about HIV? Did you know, right? Did you know that being black, gay, and positive is intersectional? And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, Titan, well, what's intersectional? Well, it means that we intersect on so many levels, right? I'm going to break it down like bruh man on the fifth floor. Y'all see that? On the fifth floor. It's intersectional. I'm not only positive. I'm not only gay. I'm not only black, but I'm also a brother. I'm also a father. I'm also a cousin, a friend. I'm also a man. I'm also so many other things that come into play, right? And so sometimes we have to really think about, did you know that it was intersectional? Did you know that all these things intersect to make me who I am? And it's not just one thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's quite a few things that come together. And so if you think about it, I'm black. First, you see my black skin or my brown skin, as somebody told me today, because it's not black. I was like, really? So we're gonna talk about colors, I mean shades, right? And so I'm black. And sometimes people say, oh, well, Titan, it's not that. And I was like, no, you see my skin color. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Barbara, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. It's my skin color. And then I'm gay. And so here's the thing, growing up in the hood or in the neighborhood that I grew up in, it wasn't cool for me to be black and gay. I had to fight a many a days in order to understand that there was something about me that was different, right? But I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. And then you have positive. So somebody said to me, "Well, Titan, that's kind of that's a gumbo, like that's a combination." And yes, we all are many things. Now, sometimes you can say, "Okay, well, I'm black," but what else are you? Are you a woman? Are you a man? Are you are you LGBTQIA? Are you non-binary? Are you what where do you fall in that? And it's so hard sometimes for people to really understand or to know where you are. So when I lead off and say that I'm black, gay, and positive, sometimes people be like, okay, well, aren't you gay? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm also black and I'm also HIV positive. So did you know that it is intersectional? Did you know that it was intersectional? That's the key right there. That's the key right there. So I want you to think about those of you watching, those of you tuning in, those of you commenting and things like that, and sharing and liking and subscribing. Those of you, think about where you're at. Are you intersectional? And the answer should be yes, I am, because I am many things, right? Now, how you identify is how you identify, but I am many things. Some people may say, oh, you gay, right? But I'm also black. I'm also positive. I'm also a father, a brother, a cousin, a friend. I'm also somebody that holds down a job, that has a business. I have so many things going on that sometimes it's hard for me to say that I'm just one way. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope it does, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it does. So we're going to get on into the thought. I know we're kind of moving, but I have a little bit of a loaded story that I want to tell you all. And so being black, gay, and positive, that's the thought tonight. And so I want to take a moment and talk with you all about where I'm at now and then where I came from. I said to myself, and myself say, Titan, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? You're black, you're gay, and you're positive. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times what will happen is that people will make you feel some kind of way about being black. They'll make you feel some kind of way about being gay. They'll make you feel some kind of way about being positive. And then you have your own issues and problems and concerns about those three things that I just mentioned. So tonight I want to talk about that. I want to give you a scenario or give you a story and let you know just a little bit more about me, right? Let you know a little bit more about me. So this year I celebrated 17 years being HIV positive. And yes, I said 17 years I celebrated because there was a point that I should not have been here, right? According to the doctors, I should not have been here. I should not have made it through. I shouldn't have done all these things. But let me tell you something. When you're blessed, you're blessed. And that's just what it is. So I want to say to you all tonight that the story I'm about to tell you is something that I have held near and dear to my heart. And I don't tell many, but in these last couple of years, I've been walking in my truth and speaking my truth. And I want people to understand who I am and where I came from and who I still am, right? And so I didn't understand what being black meant, what being gay meant with being black, and then what positive meant with the two of those things. I have been called a lot of things. I have been told that I would never see heaven. I have been told that I would never be blessed. I have been ridiculed. I've been bullied. I've been pushed and pulled. And that's not just from people that I don't know. That's some of my family. I have been used and abused, right? And it's crazy because I sit back and I think on how many times I believed that my blackness was the greatest thing in the world until I got in the world. And then I was told that I was nothing. I was called the N word back and forth and this and that. And I really didn't understand it. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I didn't understand that until I moved to a small town that was predominantly white or Caucasian. And then I understood what a was. Then I understood, you know what I'm saying? What that was. And I don't know if it was intentional. I said in the beginning that it wasn't intentional because I believe that people just, spoke the way that they spoke, the way that they were raised, the way that they learned. And I had to learn that that's not right. That's not right. Why do you get the leeway? Why do you get the right, or why do you get the gall to be able to call me something other than what my mother calls me? Right? Like, I remember growing up, and I remember everything was black. Everything in my neighborhood was black. And so I never really seen it except for the corner stores, except for the stores that were up like at the corners and stuff like that. They were predominantly white. But I remember doing like going to these stores and things like that. And I never really thought about the looks that I was getting or anything like that because it didn't bother me because I was a happy child. We may have been poor, but I was a happy child, right? I didn't have any issues or problems. But when my blackness started to show, I started to grow and become more of a man or more of a threat, so to speak, because I started getting taller, getting thicker, you know what I'm saying? And I guess I had a look on my face. And I remember the looks that I would get when I would go in the store. I remember how I used to wonder why they treat me this way and they didn't treat other people that way. And then later on in life, I found out, I figured it out. I really didn't know what the issue was with me until my gayness. Now, I didn't even know that my gayness was coming out. But according to people and people in the neighborhood, I was gay, and it was apparent that I was gay. And they were going to make me suffer as much as they could, right? Now, I'm speaking as someone sitting here they've been through up and down and all around, and this is what I feel. Now that I look back on how people approached me and how they talked to me and stuff like that, I can understand where they're at, right? Before I couldn't get it. I didn't understand. My gayness was something that came out, and instead of it being a beautiful thing for me, it became something that was nasty, that was devastating, that was ugly, because everybody picked on me because I was gay. Everybody wanted to fight me for some reason. And it got me to thinking like I couldn't even be myself, right? I didn't know what myself was. First off, I really couldn't be black in certain spaces. I had to know how to code switch in order to survive, in order to live. And then here I come being black and being gay. And now I got to find out how to survive all over again. After I done got jumped, after I done got beat up, after I done got ridiculed and stuff like that, now I got to figure out. After I've been told that I was going to hell, that I wasn't going to heaven, now I got to figure it out. I'm black and I'm gay. Sometimes I don't know if people understand how nasty and vile they can be just by not letting you be who you are. How nasty and ugly they can be by making you to be somebody that you're not. What if I could have expressed myself? What if I could have loved myself the way I was at that time? What if I could have walked in my truth at that time? The people at school were ugly with me and nasty. The people in the neighborhood were ugly and nasty. The people in my family, whispers, ugly and nasty. Sometimes you have to take a moment and understand that although we want a perfect world, that although we think that the world is wonderful and great, it is nasty at times. I fought a lot as a teenager, mainly just to be me. I fought a lot. Me and my moms and my brother and my cousin, we were all talking, and they were talking about how many fights I had had, that I had been expelled from school, that I had gotten into these fights. 5 guys jumped me one day when I skipped school, and it was just a lot of stuff. And then I was at church, and although I was singing in the choir and I was on part of the junior deacons board and all of this stuff, I still wasn't good enough. I still was wrong and I was bad. Then I would go into these stores, and then the Caucasian people would make me feel even worse because of my skin. Not that they knew who I was, not that they cared who I was, but my skin. I remember one time, and I was really, really young, and I don't know why I remember this out of everything. And my grandmother took us to a store. I'll never forget this. My grandmother was a maid. My grandmother's really fair-skinned, though. And so she took us to this store, and this lady walks up to her, not having any idea that my grandmother is black, right? She's just fair-skinned. She asked, who are these 2 in babies? Because it was me and my brother. My grandmother had us together in the store. And my grandmother froze in that moment. And for the life of me, I didn't understand why she just didn't say, these are my grandchildren. You know what I mean? And I didn't know it then, but I had been taught a lesson inside of this grocery store. My grandmother grabbed us in a manner in which we were to get behind her, right? She took a defensive stand, although the Caucasian woman probably couldn't tell, but she took a defensive stand because she was ready to defend us, these 2 little in babies. And I remember her saying, yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am. And then I remember her getting us, leaving the basket and taking us out that store. And we on the way to the car, we don't understand. We want Twinkies. We want this. We want that. Why we can't have this, Grandma? And for the life of me, I didn't know. But now, years and years later, we talked about it. I knew then I was black. I knew then that people that looked like my grandmother moved a little differently in these rooms. Still a maid, still being talked down to and doing, but she moved differently. And she knew whatever was going to happen. I don't know. But that day she got us up out of there with quick, fast, in a hurry. And I didn't know it then that my blackness meant something. Kind of 2 things, double-edged sword. My blackness meant great, kings. I'm descendants, right, of royalty. But on the other hand, in that store, my black meant nasty. My blackness meant vile and ugly. And my blackness meant degenerate and all these things that I didn't understand then. Then I remember one day me trying to keep up with everybody else, because now, y'all, I'm skipping forward, right? Because I need to get to this. Me trying to fit in with everybody else. I had girlfriends, right? And I'm not going to tell you that I didn't love them, because I loved them for what it is that I thought that I was supposed to love them for. I love them in a manner in which I didn't even understand that I was different until society told me I was different. I thought I was like everybody else. I could run faster than them. I could jump higher. I could, throw these hands if I had to because I was fighting all the time. I was able to do this, and I always had girlfriends. So what else did y'all want from me? But they didn't want me in the circle because I was different. Even the old ladies down on the corner of the street that I grew up on would say things like, "Oh, that little baby's special." There were things that were said all the time in whispers, and I thought I was just being me, which I was. I didn't know it was bad. And it wasn't until I got to junior high, I believe, that sugar went to. That's when I fought the most. That's when I was always, just about every day, coming home from Hartman Middle School, I was fighting. Now, one thing I'm going to say on this, I don't fight no more. I don't do those things like that. But let me tell you, after you've been in so many fights, it's not too many more you're going to lose. It's not too many more you're going to lose. Now, back in the day, I would scrap you. We would scrap. We would clear the room. I can't do that now. My bones don't heal as quick. Things don't do what they used to. But it was everybody in the neighborhood. They were always talking about me and this. And I felt as if I was the only one. The only one. Nobody had anything good to say to me. Now, I played sports because that's what people said I had to do as being a man. You know, men don't do this. Men don't do that. That's what it was. You a man. Man up. But they would try to always punk me. You know what I'm saying? They were always trying to come at me and say that I wasn't a man, but I could whoop the best of them. I could stand toe to toe with just about everybody. And I'm not trying to brag on that, but ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is I had to do something because everybody was picking on me because I was different. Nobody wanted to tell me why I was different, how I was different. Was I the only one on this earth that was different? Nobody wanted to say that, but they could ridicule and talk about me. I couldn't go to parties. I went to parties. Some girls would want to dance with me, and I didn't want to dance with them at this time because I guess my sexuality, I don't know what was happening. Even at church, we're at church and everybody has a girlfriend. We go on these trips, everybody kissing in the back of the bus and doing all this kind of stuff like that. And then it was always this other thing. In the daylight, I was something that couldn't be around. I was something that you couldn't deal with. I was something that you shouldn't deal with. But when night came, in the words of Whitney Houston, when the night comes, my lonely heart cold. No, that wasn't what it was. When the nightfall, then every man, and I say man, that ridiculed and talked about me when I was up on the corners, when I was going to the stores, whenever I was doing whatever it is that my mama had me do, going to buy some Benson and Hedges, ultralights, or whatever the case may have been. They always were extra friendly and always wanted me to come and chill with them. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't understand it then. I didn't get it. What was that? Right? I'm a child, still innocent, don't know what's happening. And then here it comes. I'm growing taller, right? I'm filling out, I guess. I don't know. And then one summer, my gayness became real. I didn't know what it was. I thought having a girlfriend was what I was supposed to do, what I was supposed to have. And then one summer I was helping, doing yards, because I was trying to make me some extra money. I wanted to have the flyest clothes when I went back to school, I was a little bit of a dresser, that's what I did. And I was cleaning the gutters. And this was a thing back in the day. I was cleaning the gutters, and the person that was holding the ladder hand went up my thigh, and everything changed for me. Everything changed. I had to only be 14, 15 years, maybe 14 at best, I'm thinking. And the look he gave me when I looked down to like, what are you doing? Was like, oh, right? Because I thought that the ladder just shook, and it was about to fall. So I took a step down, and when I took a step down, his hand went right up my leg. And you know what's funny is that I was told that I should not prance around like that. I was told, I'm 14. I was told that I should not flaunt myself like that in front of people. People wouldn't give me that attention if I wasn't out here flaunting. I was just being a kid. I was just being a teenager out doing whatever it was you were doing. And so over the years, I have seen things and heard things where people would say, oh, well, they were out there doing this. Sometimes some people just are pure of heart and mind and don't know what's going on. I tried to tell somebody, they didn't want to believe me because I think they liked the guy. There was another time that someone that was close to our family made a pass at me in my grandmother's kitchen. And I said to them, like, I was angry, right? I was angry because what was I doing? What was I doing for these grown men? And these are men, I'm 14 years old and they 30 and above. What was I doing? And why was nobody believing that these things were happening? So yes. Oh, I fought. You had to say my mom and we would clear the table. Okay, Michelle, we'll shake the table. But I didn't realize that I was fighting for something else. I was fighting to be heard. I was fighting to be seen. I was already feeling some kind of way because I was Black. Then here I come, now I'm gay. And people treated me differently according to them. You might not have known I was gay coming into the Caucasian store, but the Caucasian people knew I was Black. And so therefore, I deserved whatever it was that I was going to get. In my neighborhood, I couldn't even be outside and play with everybody because I was gay. Nobody wanted to pick me on the team, but I was the best at just about everything. But boys will be boys. Boys will do things. But because they think you're gay, then it doesn't matter for them, but it matters for you. You're gay. You're supposed to take all of this. Boys playing house. That was a thing. And you sometimes think to yourself, like, what? Then I think about those boys. I think about myself and think about the things that they must have encountered as well. And the only way that they could surpass it or get past it, or I don't even say got past it, was to put it on me, put it on my shoulders, because I was gay according to them. I was clockable according to. I used to have a friend of mine that used to do shows with me and would say all the time, I ain't clockable. But then would say, oh, Titan, with this 5 o'clock shadow, I'm clockable. And I used to think like, well, why? Well, like, why does it matter? But we all want to blend. We all want to blend in. And I think I was just a sore thumb, standing out. Didn't understand. Now, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. But I think sometimes you have to understand where you're at. Tonight, I call this Black, Gay, and Positive because I really didn't understand how these three things were intersectional, how they built the foundation that I'm standing on, how it took me some time to even understand what these three things meant. And ladies and gentlemen, I haven't even got to the positive part yet. I'm at the Black and the Gay. And tonight, I just wanted to talk to you all about this. We have so many people that are in this world that don't know where they belong because they intersected so many ways. And then we want them to be who they are. I heard somebody say just the other day, oh, well, Titan, just be you. No, I'm being me. But at one time in this world, I could not be me. I could not be the authentic me that you see before you. Hell, I couldn't even talk about being Black and gay. For the point of probably getting jumped in my own neighborhood that I've been living in for 15, 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? Still till this day, people know me, people talk to me, we talk all right. Oh, but that's that gay dude. I ain't down with that gay-ish. You know what I'm saying? I've had people tell me that, like, I really want you anyways. You know what I'm saying? But it just tells me where society is. We are sitting here fighting the fight. We're sitting here, Black Lives Matter, but my Black life don't matter because it's gay. You understand what I'm saying? And I think sometimes, like, we cannot be none of it and all of it. You feel what I'm saying? We got to be able to say who we are and where we are. And tonight, I'm telling you, it took me some time to even tell you that I'm Black, gay, and positive. I'm sitting here before you today, and 3 years ago, I probably couldn't even told you that. I was afraid of what was going to happen because growing up, it was always I was wrong. It was always I did this. It was always that this is what it is. And sometimes you wonder, in that moment, is it you? Is it really you? Are you really that different for them to treat you the way that they treated you? For them to tell you that you'll never see heaven? God don't like that. That's blasphemy. That's nasty. Is it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, we rolling. We're going to take a little moment, do a little break. I took a little sip because we're going to talk about this positive part when we come back. Kwame, go ahead on and roll that beautiful bean footage. Hey, y'all. Welcome on back. Mm. So I think it's funny how I'm going to get back into the last part of this, black, gay, and positive. But I think it's funny how people will watch you. And I'm not speaking of like a dig or anything like that, but people will watch you, then they will text you certain things. And I'm like, well, why don't you just put it on, the live, just let it be on the live. And they're like, ah. So I take it however you do it. This was sent to me, and I just want to read this real quick. Okay. Black, gay, and positive. You should not, wait a minute, hold on. How does that go? So I'm not okay. Let me just say it because it's gonna irk me, because sometimes people think they know you. Sometimes people think they can tell you how you should feel and how you should think and how you should know. This person is stating to me basically that it shouldn't have been a problem. Why would I come on here? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to answer no questions for them. I'm just going to explain the reason why people like myself take so long to be on the forefront and to do the things that we do now in our lives, because it's stuff like this. It's things like this when people say, well, you shouldn't have been worried about that, or that's not a problem, or it's 2022. What being gay or positive got to do with anything? And that right there is the problem. I like to curate spaces and places where people can feel safe and people can feel secure to be who they are, and love on themselves and be there. I don't invite anybody on my show if your thought process is, I should have just been quiet and it wouldn't have been a thing, right? Or I shouldn't have done this, or I should have just came out and did this. A lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, especially with my trans sisters and brothers, it is life. It is life that we're trying to live. And things like this, with us just telling everybody and it doesn't matter and being all open and stuff like that, that could mean death to us. And more or less to my trans brothers and sisters. That can mean death. But you got people like that want to say, I don't even know what the problem is. You should just be truthful, be honest, come out of the closet. Y'all, I've never been in a closet. I mean, I got one in my room, but I've never been in the closet. And for you to say that it wasn't a thing, that it is against God, and that was the other thing that was in there. I can't win for losing. Now, this is me talking then, not now, because I could give two tears in a bucket, what you're saying now. But for somebody that's out there, and I don't know who this is for, whoever this is for right here, don't you let nobody tell you when and how and what day or what month or what year that it's for you to be who you are. You go ahead and work through whatever it is that you got to work through. You do whatever it is that you feel that you need to do. And then when it's your time, then you do that. But let's just talk about this, though. Let me back up just a little bit. Black, gay, and positive. Do you know how many times my so-called friends put me in harm's way because they were trying to make me a man? You know how many times that they were telling people my business, my tea. I'm thinking about the Garden of Good and Evil. Anyway, they put me in harm's way. They had no qualms about it at all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Kwame. Okay, they had no qualms about it, but they want to tell you how they had my best interests at heart. But they took me to a party in the hood where gay people don't go, and then you want to announce to everybody that I'm gay at the party in the hood on the block? I couldn't hang with them no more. They were cool people, but I couldn't hang with them no more because they mind were warped about what it is. They walk through life. Cool. I walk through life unless you know what I'm doing, right? I'm good. But let's talk about how you set me up for failure to satisfy your own insecurities. You want to text me while I'm on live and you want to tell me that it's nothing. I need to let it go. That's what the last part. I need to let it go. What am I letting go? This is my life. This is who I am. This is where I be. You feel me? And you want me to let it go. Black, gay, already things are crazy, things are weird. And I'm not going too deep into a lot of things because I only got so much time. But I just want you to know that when you look at people, when you look at gay people, when you look at them, they, this, that, it, because that's how you approach us. That's how you talk about us. As if we are some foreign being on a foreign planet. The part that I don't like is you want to tell me when it's good for me. Me. This living. Oh, thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you so much, moms. It's the silences for me. You only want me to let it go because what I'm saying is triggering your spirit. But if I was a seal, let me stop. Look, Kwame, put it up one more time for me. One more time for me, Kwame. It's the silencing for me. See, the very thing that Kwame is talking about right here is the same thing that those men were doing. During the day, they wanted to ridicule, they wanted to fight, they wanted to do all of these things. But at night, then they wanted to call me over. Then they wanted to talk about this. Then they wanted to buy me things and promise me things. And I said to myself, Lord, what is happening? Do their wives know? Then they would tell you things like, I will kill somebody, I will beat somebody, I will do something if you tell somebody. But those are the men. I'm the one that should be stoned, but those are the men. And then, ladies and gentlemen, years later, still trying to battle with being black and gay, here comes positive. And the way I became positive was one of those things to where I lied about at first. Okay, Kwame say it sounds like some mega church preachers to me, but this ain't that type of show. Sips tea. This is what I know. When I was diagnosed as being positive, I was diagnosed with AIDS. I thought I was dying. I thought my life was over. And I know y'all have heard this story quite a few times. But the one thing that got me was everybody, I went to a clinic, and I'll never forget this. The same people that were talking about me, the same people that said I had the package, the same people that said I was nasty, the same people that said I had the gift that keeps on giving, they were in the same clinic. They were in an infectious disease clinic. And I want to say this before you all start popping off and saying what you got to say. It was not for nothing other than HIV. All of them were positive. I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. But then I had to worry about whether or not I was going to be accepted. Instead of me worrying about my health, instead of me worrying about whether or not I'm going to live or die, I was worried that I had shamed my family, my friends. I had shamed these people. I had shamed all of this stuff, and I didn't know what was happening. And me being positive was nasty, especially because I was diagnosed with AIDS. I only had 4 T cells at the time. Sometimes people don't understand just how far they can push you, or just how far deep down the rabbit hole they can send you because of that. My mama says she remembers somebody getting on the elevator with me when I was at my worst, and they thought I was going to die. And she said that the man was talking to her as if I was already gone. The man stood all the way in the corner of the other side of the elevator, didn't want to get near me because I looked pretty bad. I looked bad, but that doesn't excuse, you know what I mean? And I remember her being in the room with me when the doctor said that I have AIDS, and the doctor walked out. And I'm saying, wait, what? Like, I'm here for my what? Then things went crazy. I still had that air about me that I wanted everybody else to love me and like me, regardless if I was Black, gay, and positive, but especially being positive. I felt like I was nasty. I felt like I had been ruined, as they would say. I felt like it was nothing. Okay, Barbara? Okay. And then I realized that death was not for me. Ooh, I'm going to take a deep breath. Because I said I wasn't going to cry tonight. It's hard sometimes when you want to die because you can't be you. If I'm going to be HIV positive and near death, God, just take me. Take me, because it's not worth it. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being hurt by people. I'm tired of being used and abused because for some reason being gay puts a sign on your forehead that say use me or try. I want to talk to those out there because I'm gonna close up in just a little bit. I want to talk to those out there and say to you that I own it now. It took me a while to own my Blackness, to be able to stand up and fight for my Blackness. I own it now to be a Black gay man, to stand up in my gayness and fight for it if I have to. But I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to be there anymore. And ladies and gentlemen, I am HIV positive, 17 years, and I have owned it enough now to celebrate me being positive. Throughout the years, I come across people all the time that are in that struggle and that fight that I was in so many years ago, up until about 3 years ago. And sometimes I still got to struggle a little bit because everything you just can't let go of. But I want to say to you tonight, you have a friend. You have a place. Stop going into these places and spaces that don't want you. Stop going into these spaces and places that ridicule you and talk down to you. And stop getting with these spaces and places, these P's and D's that don't want you. They only want you for what you have or what you're doing. You need to be where you are safe. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. That's where you need to be. Protect your peace. All I got to say to you as we roll on, you better. Let's go on and talk about that. You better. So this is what I want to say to you tonight. This segment of you better means you better do it, be it, love it. And what I mean by it, I mean by whatever it is that you think that it should be. You are the ish. You are you. You the only one that's going to be able to take care of you. Now, you may have somebody over here. You feel me? Thrive in your Blackness. Thrive in your gayness and your positive life. Ain't nobody else going to do it for you. You better get up and move. You better rock out. Have fun. You better live your life, travel, do those things that make you happy. Because I want to tell you that Black, gay, and positive, for some people, it's not easy. I want you to move. I want you to go. You better tell them next time. Don't you stand nowhere and think that you are on borrowed time. This is my house. And in my house, this is what we do. Protect our peace. You better protect your peace at all costs. And if somebody may think it's being nasty, somebody may think it's this, and somebody may want to tell you because you black, gay, and positive that you don't deserve life. And you want to tell them something, 2 tears, 2 fingers, 1 word, peace. I ain't got time for the okie doke. You better kick rocks. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, I know we have too many people out here dying because they cannot be themselves. And even when they're being themselves, they're dying, being murdered because they are being themselves. Tonight, I tell you, I'm black, gay, and positive. And if you don't want to be around me, you don't want to do nothing with me, then you kick rocks and you move on. But what you're not going to do is make me feel like I'm some alien in my own skin. Make me feel like I'm some alien in my own gayness. Make me feel like I'm some alien in my own positivity. That's what you're not going to do. Those days are done. And I'm not going to entertain you like that. I'm not going to do that. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. You deserve better. I don't care what they're telling you. If your family is not going to be behind you, then go. If your friend's not going to be behind you, then go. If the dude or the girl that you're with or whoever you're with using you as a doormat, it's time for you to go. Stop making excuses for them. Love yourself right where you are. Black, gay, and positive. It's not a negative. It's not a negative. I stand before you fortified in who I am. I stand before you and I want you to know that it does get easier. I stand before you and I want you to know that you are loved. And if your family don't love you, come on over here. Let Titan put some love on you. Come on over here and let Titan wrap these arms around you and let you know that you are safe. Come on over here and let Titan knuckle up with somebody because we can do it. Now I may be down for another 2 weeks until my bones heal, but you know we can handle up. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this to you. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't let anybody, including family, mothers, fathers, sisters, aunts, uncles, brothers, don't let nobody steal your peace. Don't let nobody steal your peace. You hear me? You deserve better. You're God's child. The universe loves you. And I, Titan, love you. And we here at the Titan Capri Experience, we love you as well. Y'all come on back now. You're here. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I feel good. We talked about being black, gay, and positive, and some of the stuff was a little, but the other thing is here, I'm here. The doctor told me I wasn't going to make it, but I'm here. I celebrated 17 years on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I celebrated 17 years of being positive when I was told that I would not live past 2 months because everything was shutting down. Baby, let me tell you how it works. Protect your peace. You don't know how long you're going to live. And for that, I need to groove. For that, hold on a second. Because we about to get out. But hold on. Y'all ready to groove? Because I think this black, gay, and positive been just a little heavy. So let's go ahead on and groove, ladies and gentlemen. And I think I want to do a little special groove. Y'all with me? All right, let's go. Sit it, da 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 da. Sit it, da 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 da. Zoom da 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 da. Black, gay, and positive. T2P. T2P. Check me out. 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 That. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I love you for who you are. I love you for where you are. I love you for just being you. And that's the way it should be every day, day in and day out. Protect your peace. Until next time, bye-bye, babies.